They about to look at the shit that I'm on. Why don't we get in topic? Crew looking like Pentatonics, locked in, recording in tropics. And the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics. We lit, never thought about it. Cause they about to look at the shit that I'm on. Why don't we get in topics? Send way back, all black, I'm talking. Feeling like Shaq, I weigh my options. And the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics. It's saucy, all the projects. It's saucy.
What's up? It's been a long time again. RCR Presents MSD Sports, and we back at it, episode 32. And let's get it. My name is Sam, also known as YPK. We got Mikey over here, and we got Camden over here. And we're ready for an episode. Mikey, introduce yourself. Mikey, introduce yourself.
Are you ready for episode? It's your boy, Michael John. Great to see y'all.
Sir.
Great to be talking to the people. I'm representing the 02135 as always. And let's get cracking, boys.
Yes, sir. Camden, what's up?
What's going on? You know what it is. It's your boy, Camden Lee, a.k.a. Mr. Club Paradise. You know what I'm saying. I'm with the greatest trio ever assembled, MSD Sports. Right now, you know what I mean? We're doing like a weekly, bi-weekly situation. It's a little slow. Our lives is getting a little crazy, but we're still consistent. You know what I'm saying? We used to do twice a week. Now we're just, it's a little bit of the off season, a little something, but we got a lot of news. We got a lot happening. We finally kind of got to the precipice of a certain season in which we all love. YBK.
Yes, sir.
What's on the agenda today, Playboy?
Woo! MSD Sports episode 32. Good to be back. The agenda, let's get it. MLB, so far, where we at? We gonna talk about that. Some NFL news for y'all. You know, it's been a while since we talked about some NFL. And of course, the NBA, guys. Now, finally, the finals is here. And who will be crowned king? So let's go. Let's talk about it. MLB. I mean, should we start with the season standings, just like a general, for our listeners and our viewers over here? And I could start us off in the AL East, and then we can, I'll kind of quickly read it out for our listeners here. We got the New York Yankees today. It is as of today, June 3rd, 6:40 Pacific, 9:40 Eastern. The New York Yankees are on top, 36-22. Right behind them, well, not really right, 5.5 games back, Toronto Blue Jays with a 31-28 record. And I can say right behind them, Tampa Bay Rays 1 game back from the Blue Jays, 30 wins, 29 losses. Then we got the Red Sox, who are 29-33. And we got the Baltimore Orioles. They say it's the biggest disappointment of 2025. 22 wins and 36 losses. We go to the Central. They are surging in the MLB. The hot topic, the number one team in the MLB with 40 wins. The Detroit Tigers have 40 wins, 21 losses. And we got the Cleveland Guardians in 32 wins, 26 losses. Minnesota Twins, 32 wins, 27 losses. Kansas City Royals, 31 wins, 29 losses. And we got the Chicago White Sox, 18 wins and 42 losses. Oh, man. And we're going to wrap it up in the American League with the Seattle Mariners, 32 wins, 26 losses. And we got the Astros right behind them, 32 wins, 27 losses, only a half game back. The Rangers, 29 wins, 31 losses. We got the Angels, 27-32. And we're going to wrap it up with the Athletics in 23-38, guys. And that's the American League.
Woo.
Yes.
Man, guys, I'm telling you, I'm looking at this American League. I have a lot of questions, concerns, comments. I'm a little confused. I mean, first off, Michael John, do we need to just the elephant in the room, our Boston Red Sox? What in the world is going on? You know what I mean? We are at the bottom of the division. We thought we were going to be, top 3. You know what I mean? 1 to the 2 and not the 2. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm frustrated. Michael John, what's going on with our Sox? What's really
underachieving? Is as simple as that. It's underachieving, and I know they're only 4 games under 500. A lot of ball left to play.
Oh yeah.
It's just disappointing is the word for me. I feel like we were duped. Trevor Story was supposed to be something. He's trash. Xander Bogaerts would have been way better to have. I feel like Bregman went down, and it's demoralized some people. I will say, Rafi, has been balling. Like Devers,
Oh, yeah.
he started off terrible and
yeah.
he's come around. But we talked about it all preseason, and maybe it's cliche, but it's gonna come down to pitching. We don't have it. I've been telling y'all. Walker Bueller, I hope he walks the hell out the city because I just can't. I feel like he wants to have a little intent. He wants to be like Joe Kelly, but he ain't. Like you don't got intensity like that, bro. I'll mess with you like that. Trade him back to LA for something. I don't know. I don't know what to say. And don't get me started on Tanner Houck. Sam, I know you mentioned Tanner Houck. I don't even want to. You would pitch a better game than Tanner Houck at this point, YBK.
Wow. I mean, I would be frustrated too if I were you. I mean, I think the other week I saw Trevor Story go for a bunt, and I'm like, no, this guy shouldn't be going for a bunt. You should be going for doubles and bombs, and I don't know what's going on in that offense, but you're right. We are early, but we are in the 60-game point now. You know, we have 162 left. We have 100 games left here now. So it's almost halfway. So this is where Red Sox organizations have to get smart on, be like, are we going to be sellers or are we going to be buyers? You know, do we say we have some protection left for our players for next year, so maybe we'll sell, or should we turn it up in the second half and buy like what we talked about?
What would you do, David and Sam? What would you do?
I mean, the problem is, right, is we were late to the party during the free agency. Everybody was doing big splashes all year, and they were doing it early. And I felt like, you know what I mean? We was like, oh, we wanted to be cool. We wanted to wait, especially like we said, we was waiting for Bregman. As a Sox fan, I am impatient. That is who we are. I think YBK, you understand living in New York. We are impatient creatures. We understand that the mode of success is winning and nothing else matters. Like I said in the beginning of this season, I feel like the chemistry is not there, and I think they need another year to really kind of get the realms under them. I think the whole situation with I'm not moving, I think that rubbed people a little bit the wrong way. I think the chemistry's off. So, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that we can creep our way up, maybe do a wild card, but it's not looking great. Not looking great at all. So, to be honest, I would neither. I wouldn't buy, I wouldn't sell. I'd say I put a lot of money in this offseason. Let's see what we look like at the end of the year, and then let's make some moves. YBK, what about yourself?
There's right now, like, the Red Sox kind of remind me of like the Detroit Tigers of last year. Detroit Tigers last year were in a situation where at the trade deadline, they were sellers. They got rid of Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers and tried to rebolster and get ready for next year. But all of a sudden, the Detroit Tigers hit and they made the playoffs last year. So I feel like it wouldn't hurt here to maybe buy just for the future as well. Like, you know, maybe we can cook up something here in the second half and then, you know, in the offseason, get everybody together, get the chemistry together, and we'll kind of give it a bang. So I feel like what we talked about in, pre-episode, Mikey was talking about getting maybe Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins, add another horse, help Garrett Crochet, because this man needs help. You know, we talked about Walker Bueller. He's not producing. Like, the rotation's not producing as we thought of in preseason before the season started. So I feel like maybe try to add a arm here and see where that takes you.
I would take him too because he's having a bad season, Sandy Alcantara. So I would take him. He's on a trash team. You don't feel like that that sense of urgency, but. I don't know. I wanted Max Fried or Corbin Burns, and I know Burns is on the injured list right now.
Diamondbacks,
yeah, but that's. I mean, still, like you look at them, it's like 3-2, 2.66 ERA for Corbin Burns, 1.17 WHIP, and then Max Fried 7-1, 1.92 ERA, 0.97 WHIP. It's like I just wanted someone who could. I just didn't feel like, okay, Crochet is great. They went and got Crochet, but they needed one more. It couldn't be a rental. It wasn't going to be a rental that you was going to make work. And they thought, Giolito, hey, sell him. At this point, if you can get a piece, I will be willing to sell someone like him. Like, they have potential, but like we need to maybe him and another piece for let's upgrade. Let's try to upgrade. So
I agree.
but if you can't get someone a nasty pitcher, I would say let's just wait.
That's how I feel, because I feel like pitching this off season was something that a lot of teams spent a lot of money on, and I think we were late to the party. So I'm like, hey, we'll take what we got. Hopefully, as the weather gets a little bit warmer, because of the fact that we have a little bit older players in the tooth, longer tooth players, and things like that. Hopefully, the warm breeze, warm temperatures loosen those arms up, loosen those bats up, get things a little bit moving. But again, like we look at the Tigers in the AL Central, they're leading the division the following year. They snuck into the playoffs last year. It could be us. We could sneak in and then, be doing our thing. My biggest thing is, what in the world are they putting in the water in New York? What is going on? Because all I'm seeing is y'all just hitting bomb after bomb. I know we talked about the torpedo bats earlier this season. I don't know if y'all double down on that. Everybody's doing torpedo bats. YBK, what is happening in New York?
Yankees have been doing pretty well this season. Like, even like saying like, oh, we didn't get Soto. Now they're saying this team is even better than last year. Because, I mean, look at our stats, guys. Like, you think, like, Cody Bellinger's going to be the second guy, like, try to be the Soto kind of replacement. But right now, Paul Goldschmidt, guys, is batting over what is his batting average? 333 right now. And he's
Crazy
just been, there's not, the power numbers are 6 home runs, but he's been getting these hits. And the thing is, I just want to express the struggles we had of left-handed starting pitching, opposing left-handed starting pitching for our batters. This guy has been hitting over 500 against lefties right now. And that's been helping our offense tremendously. And that's what Judge needs to, especially in it. And talk about Judge. Man, this man is just getting better and better.
For real.
He has a 391 batting average, 485 OBP, and a 764 slugging. And that's a 1.2 OPS, guys. 21 home runs, 50 RBIs. And that's, man. And I love what he said in Sunday Night Baseball about he wants to hit for average and power. I love that. And that's what I remember what Mikey said that he liked about the hitter is not just being a power hitter, but also he's getting contact. He's getting on base and getting results done. So very good right now.
John, real quick, for some of our viewers who aren't as familiar with the OPS and the slugging percentage and things like that, when someone hits, 33%, 333, how good of a hitter are you if you're hitting 333? What is that?
That's nasty. That's nasty, especially if you look at over the years, the batting average for the whole league is just going down. It's not going up. This is crazy that this deep in the year, Aaron Judge is batting 390. 391, 21 home runs, 50 ribbies.
Yep.
Nasty. Filthy. Crazy.
For some
Actually,
of you,
if you look at it, the Yankees as a team are batting 259, which is third in the league. Only 2 teams batting better. The Cubs are 261, and the Dodgers. is 268.
Yeah.
But only 3 teams, though. Those 3 teams, the Yankees, the Cubs, and Dodgers, have hit over 300 runs this year so far. So they are that little distinction. Those top tier hitting teams. If you driving in runs too, you could score a little bit less, unless you have nasty pitching like Detroit. We talked about how nasty Detroit's playing right now. They're not even in the top 10 for batting average, but their pitching is nasty.
Their starting rotation has been going crazy for them right now.
Exactly. So,
but one last thing I want to bring up for the Yankees is right now, when you see our lineup compared to last year, we have Trent Grisham, who's been our bench piece last year, and he's now our pivotal starting center fielder, who has 13 home runs right now. And we have Ben Rice, who's stepping up for Giancarlo Stanton and sometimes for Paul Goldschmidt because, he's like 38, 37. He has 12 home runs too. So it's just like giving these guys the opportunity, and these guys are proving themselves like, hey, if I'm a starter, I'm going to show you, like, I can do this. And for Ben, I feel like it's more like, hey, like, it's a little different perspective of Trent and Ben. Trent's like more of a veteran. He won a Gold Glove, but he's a kind of he was used to being a utility guy, and he's like, all right, he's stepping up. Ben is like, hey, I'm a rookie, I'm young, this is what I can do. Like if I'm full time, because they say that he did work out this season, and his body did get bigger, so and it's showing. So it's doing good for the Yankees, but Man, what a series we had last weekend, huh, David?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
When I tell you the fireworks was going on, okay, and it wasn't even July 4th. It was crazy. The city was pumping. When I tell you, it felt like what it should be, possibly late in September, maybe October. I'm just saying, man, Bobby K.
Yep.
Is it just me, or is Judge and Ohtani the best players in baseball? Are they going back to back? Are we doing a back to back?
I think we might see history. I think we've never seen the same American League, National League back-to-back MVPs, I think, ever in the history of MLB. So it'll be historic. And I mean, they're on pace. Shohei has been on fire, guys.
Crazy.
He's been on a home run tear right now. Like every day he's hitting a bomb. So yeah, that weekend, I just want to say one thing about this like Yankee-Dodgers rivalry here that I didn't really like about, especially the Friday game. Saturday, 18-2 loss. Biggest embarrassment, but I feel like Friday's game's loss was more embarrassing than the Saturday's huge football game loss. I kind of like do like a quick summary. Like, we hit like 4 home runs in the first 2 innings, I think, or 3 home runs fast.
Crazy.
And we were going crazy. We were going like, hey, like, you know, we're different. Like, we were kind of boasting to the Dodgers saying like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We in this, like, we got this. We're about to win this. Like, it kind of gave off little brother vibes, guys. It kind of reminded me of like that Mets versus Yankees where it's like when the Mets are winning, they're like, but it's like at the end of the day, we win. It kind of felt like that, but we were the other side. It was like, why are we should have just said, stay silent, and it's been like, just play the game. Not going like, hey, like, we got you this time, but nah, like, that's what I didn't like about in this series, but it was an embarrassment, but I'm just so happy we won on Sunday and not get swept by the Dodgers.
Well, BK, do you feel as though there's a little bit of just bad taste in the mouth after last year's, World Series where guys just are taking this a little bit more personally? Michael John, you can obviously answer this too. Do you think that it's like, the Yankees are just like, hey, like, we want to stick it to them. And after kind of like this weekend, they kind of was like, ooh, we still got a little catching up to do type feel.
Yeah. I totally agree. Like, of course, like, there's like that sour patch, right? It's like for Judge, especially like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he busted his toe. He broke his toe in that right field fence and he got shut down that season. And then last year, Freddie Freeman, that walk-off, like we lost the World Series at home too, at the stadium. So I'm sure for Judge, it's definitely personal. But
I will say that the series for playoffs might be different because y'all have Garrett Cole down. Rodon is hurt still?
No, Rodon's back.
Okay, yeah. And Heel?
Heel's hurt.
And then they have Tyler Glasnow and Snell on the injury list. Oh, yeah. So if you think about it, the series dynamic is different if it's full health. And obviously we know, sadly, Garrett Cole ain't coming back this year, right?
Yeah.
So we know that. But y'all got to Yamamoto.
True.
Who was pitching well.
Yep, we did.
I mean, yeah, it's a coin toss still for that. And I think that if y'all get there again and that's the matchup, I won't be mad. And honestly, I probably lean toward Yankees this time around just because, like, it's hard to do that to someone again. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Because that last season for the Dodgers was magical, though. That was an amazing season for them. One of a kind.
I can't believe, though, because I didn't even get to say, like, the odds for Judge right now is minus 4,000 for MVP.
Wow.
I can't believe that 60 games into a season, you're minus 4,000 for MVP odds. Like,
just
that
give it to him. Like, what?
Yeah, the second is 16-1 odds for Bobby Witt, but that's crazy.
That's
bro.
Minus 4,000.
That's the ESPN's book right now.
Y'all tripping.
I'm telling
crazy.
you, 16-1 odds is the next closest for Bobby Witt. But Shohei's minus 260 for NL MVP.
Okay.
And Fernando Tatis is next at plus 900, but. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the minus 4,000.
4,000.
You gotta put up 4 bids to make $100. You tripping?
It's unreal what he's doing, though. I think it's warranted. So, I mean, I'll leave it at that. I don't know if y'all have more about Dodgers and Yankees, but I'm still I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit salty with how mid the Red Sox season has been. So it's like
It's below mid. It's
y'all
like
get your
it's
flowers.
a
Like I'm
Reggie
not
as
like
well.
I ain't ignoring it. Y'all get your flowers, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I just want to say to wrap up the Yankees is we just got to be buyers. Buy and get ready for the Dodgers. That's the thing, because our West Coast road trip is done now. The rough patch is finished. We had 2 West Coast road stands, and now we wrapped it up with the Dodgers, and next time we're going to verse them is going to be the World Series if we both reach it. So I'm happy that's over, and then we could just focus and travel less, I guess, and just buy correctly. Like, I don't want Cashman just to buy anyone just because they're popping off. You got to be smart, and then you got to make the move. So let's get it. David or Mikey, you want to read the NL real quick for the people, and then we can, because I think we already talked about the Dodgers.
Yeah, we can
but-
Could run through the standings for the East, Central, and West right here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk to us.
Let's get it.
All right. Well, in the West, in the East, we'll start in the East. I think we all saw this one coming preseason, a race between the Mets and the Phillies. Mets are sitting up top, 38-22, but Phillies is right there, a game and a half back, 36-23. So you do have Washington lingering, 28 wins, 31 losses, but they're 9.5 games back. The Braves, even though there was like 15 games below 500, have crawled up to 27-31, so 10 games back. And the Marlins, surprisingly, 23 wins, 35 losses. I know it's not great, but they're no Rockies right now. I will say, y'all, because we did say this about NL East before. Ronald Acuna is back.
Yes,
he made his return.
Yes,
so far since he's returned, batting over 300, got like 3 home runs, a few 10 hits or so. He's running, he looks okay while he's running. So I'll say that's a huge plus for them.
Especially like Ronald.
The Central is pretty competitive too.
Yeah.
Cubs in first place, 37 wins, 22 losses, so 15 games above 500. But you do got the Cardinals and the Brewers both lingering around there. Cardinals with 33 wins and 26 losses. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's at 33 wins and 28 losses. Then you got the Reds and the Pirates kind of stinking up. The Reds, I feel like we might see a run from them still. I know that we kind of had a little bit of expectations for them to improve. 29 wins and 32 losses, so we'd like to see if they can pull a little something. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, they act like contenders, but they're just trying to sell tickets because they got a bona fide superstar pitcher in Paul Skeens who could very well win a Cy Young award this year. So, but they're 22-38. Then the big boys, we've been talking about this one for a while. I knew we was gonna have to come back to this division to just talk about how things will even out. The Dodgers and the Padres is in this race still, bro.
Crazy.
36 wins and 24 losses for the Dodgers, 34 wins and 24 losses for the Padres. So they're only 1 game back. San Francisco has regressed a bit, though. 33 wins and 27 losses. So there are still only 3 games back, though. So, and then Arizona, 28 wins and 31 losses. And we have the stinker of the league right now, the Colorado Rockies, with 10 wins and 50 losses.
Crazy work. Gosh. I thought that was a typo. That's why I did not want to run through the NL West because I wasn't sure if it really said 50 on there. I'm squinting on my eyes. I said, did that say a 5? Or I was like, oh, snap. 50 losses. Listen, guys, if you got some money and the Rockies are playing, bet against the opposing team. Bet against the Rockies. Just pick them.
You're gonna win. Yeah, you're gonna win no matter what.
You're gonna win no matter what. Just pick them. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win something. Sheesh. 50.
Yeah, they're just trying to avoid being the worst regular season team of all time at this point. So
they're the White Sox of last year. They're the White Sox of last year. Oh my gosh.
100 losses. It's 100 losses.
We didn't see that coming. I don't think so.
Yeah, we're not even halfway. They lost 50 already.
That's ugly. That's just ugly.
But I gotta say,
I do like that it's still competitive in the West though, because I feel like it's still that's been kind of a key this whole year that we've been talking about it. Who's going to sustain it and who could fall back? And I feel like the Dodgers, we all have been confident, but the teams, the Padres and the Giants, we've been like, who's going to be the one to really? And the Padres is here again. They did it last year too. They're still there. So
hungry, yeah. I just want to say, looking at the standings from American League and National League, the National League is so much better than the American League, guys. There's so many great teams in the National League. I feel like it's like a kind of like a era change. I remember when the American League was so tough, but now it's like, dang, the powerhouse is more in the National League. I'm happy not to be there. Oh my goodness, you got Mets, Phillies, Cubs, Dodgers, Padres, Giants. Like, it just lines up. They're so competitive.
I think one thing I've noticed is that like the National League has teams. Like even with the Dodgers that we talked about, like the rich get richer. Like they're building on their teams. They're really trying to make sure that their team themselves, top to bottom, is really fortified in a different way. Where I feel like the American League has been stars. You know what I mean? The Trouts, the Tatises. Well, Tatis is on the national, but like even like Soto and you know what I mean before when he went, like there's just a lot of like personal stories, not necessarily a team game. Where I think especially you guys, you know what I mean, YBK with the Yankees, you guys have doubled down. You have Judge, which is your like number one, your guy, your star,
right?
But you're also kind of building a team around him in a great way. And you know what I mean, even getting rid of Soto last year, you're like, hey, Soto doesn't fit with the team concept that we need. All right, let's let him walk because if Judge is in the building, we don't need another superstar. We just need a great team around him. So I think that's one thing I've been watching as of recently, the last couple of years. The National League has really doubled down on it. The GMs have gotten better. They've gotten better.
Definitely. And the game has changed so much too. So it's like you can see like the change of as we go on. It's definitely changing day by day.
Games is no longer over 3 hours. That pitch clock. Thank you for doing that.
Thank the Lord.
So.
Yep, it's like 2 hours and a half. It's like a basketball game length kind of thing.
Amen.
It's exciting to go to baseball for the first time in a long time. You're not spending your whole day there. I love it.
The whole day.
Your whole check.
Guys, we have a Red Sox Yankee this weekend.
Come on,
June 6, 7, 8 at Yankee Stadium. That'll be fun.
Listen,
I mean the rivalry's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little down, but as always, Yankee Red Sox is always competitive.
Don't let it fool you. We always gonna come up when the Yankees are in the building.
And then that next weekend we go play at Fenway. It's crazy. The schedule is interesting.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, let's get it.
June starting right. Right. We love it.
Summertime.
We love it.
It's getting warmer.
Shoot.
But yeah, let's get it.
Speaking of warm weather, should we talk about the next segment? Should we move on to the?
I know it's gonna warm your heart, so
please.
Let's get it.
Tell them what you want to talk about.
Come on, you already know what it is. It's a little early. It's a little, you know what I mean? But we got OTAs. We got the off season. We got the NFL, baby, and we coming back. We're going to sprinkle it in from time to time just to let you guys know what's going on as we move on to the summer.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? We getting ready, baby. We getting ready. To start off, we talked about the warm weather. We talked about, just, a little, as the warm weather starts to creep up. It's June. One of the situations that I saw a little bit, I was going through the timeline. I was, I was even talking to the boys. I think I might have been in Boston when it happened. I was on my way out. But my boy from the New England Patriots, Stephon Diggs, he was on a boat. You know him. He got a new shorty in the building. His new lady, Cardi B. Hopefully I can see her at Gillette from time to time. But they was on a boat and there was some honeys in the building. And he was, my man Stephon, he was entertaining, he was conversating, he was doing a little saying a little touche talk. But he whipped out a little some little pink some looked like Tootsie. I'm not sure what it was. But a man's been to Colombia before and I kind of know what that stuff looked like. However, I've never indulged, I just know what it looked like. It just looked a little foreign. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Guys, what's going on in New England? You know what I mean? Is what's going on with Stephon? I'm hearing they might want to cut him. I don't think that's going to happen. But did you guys hear anything about this? What's the situation?
Sam, you want to start here?
You could start it. I feel
this is what I'm going to say. I saw the video. One, it's hilarious. Like, dude's just getting lit up on a boat. And he's got honeys all around him. And he said, huh? Like, if you see it, it's funny. Like, it's very funny. But it's also, unprofessional. You know what I mean? Coming off of ACL, we trying to see you rehabbing, eating good, being a leader. We know what the Patriot way is. I know Vrabes is in the house. You know what I mean? We know we got a team of y'all could have your beers. You could throw a beer back. You could eat a little. You could eat your chicken wings. You could do what you need, but no Coke, no, especially the pink Coke. None of that. This is what I'll say. On a scale of 1 to 10, my concern is like a 5 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10, but you guys can tell me what you think. I just think it's embarrassing more than it is anything else. He gonna have to come put some numbers up.
YBK, what you thinking?
Okay. It's off season, I understand. You can do what you want, but you can't do that publicly. That's it. That's it. Because your name value itself is hype. Everyone's ready for you to start the season. But you can't just come in before you play a game like that, you know? But, yeah, just don't do it publicly, man.
Bro, take the phones away when you get on a boat.
Yeah, take them
away and just party. Take the phone, put the phones in the plastic bag, and now we party. Move on, right?
No one had to know.
You know, I think at the end of the day, like, and to answer your question, Mike, you know what I mean, Mikey, I'm like a 4.5. I'm a little concerned only because it's New England. If this was like Miami, not a problem. If this was Los Angeles, not an issue. Colorado, not a problem. But being in New England, especially with Vrabel, he did say we're monitoring the situation. We're hoping that guys make smart decisions on and off the field. I do understand international waters is different rules, and I'm cool with that. But like the boys say, GM YBK said it best. Yes. You know what I mean? The God-fearing man in the building. He signs the checks. He also reads with the Lord and hangs out with the word. But he even says, I don't want to see it. You do what you want, but I don't want to see it. So I think he was feeling himself a little bit with Cardi B. I think, you know what I mean, he was. They said that Cardi was on the boat, so he wasn't with the honeys by himself. So I think, you know what I mean, when you get accosted by, 6, 7 fine tings, you know what I mean, on a boat with your shirt off and they touching your muscles, maybe you just feeling a little lit, you got a little careless. It is what it is. So
we know what he was doing, but the thing is, it's gonna be hard to like definitively prove what was that substance. Right. Was he using it? Was that a staged blah blah? You see what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think he'll get in trouble for it. I just think we need to cut out the shenanigans and keep it. You could enjoy yourself, but just do it privately. Don't post it. No need to post the video.
No, for real. So we'll see what happens with that. I have a little bit of news. I have one more piece of segment before YBK takes over for the NFL segment because we have some big news on his end. Caleb Williams, quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He was the number 1 pick in the last year's NFL draft. He started the season last year, and then he became the starter for the Chicago Bears. A decent season. He came out earlier, with a report which talked about, how do you feel, with this next season? Do you feel like, having some footage under your belt, being able to, see, things that you've done, do you feel as though that's going to improve your ability to play? And he said, well, when I was playing, I was watching film by myself. No coaches, no instruction, nobody telling me what to do. So I'm hoping that with this off season, I get a little bit more tutelage in that area. Guys, how do you feel about Caleb Williams coming out saying that no one was watching film with him for the entire regular season? Is that crazy? Is it just me? Michael John, what's the situation?
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at him. You should be mad at the Bears for not giving him instruction and guidance. He needs help to watch the film. You're gonna assume, even as a number 1 draft pick with all that talent, that the kid can just sit down and watch film, right? Brady used to watch film by himself after he knew and dissected and did it for years with the coaching staff. You got it on many documentaries of him just chilling in the crib and he's sitting watching film. You got to learn how to break it down, though. So a massive failure on the Chicago Bears' part.
I totally agree. And I mean, like even like the greatest have their own coaches and their mentors in life, right? Even the greatest. Like, so this is a poor management decision and choice by the Bears, and I feel like this is just going to be a bad imprint for the future of the people to come to the Bears. Then, like, why? Of course, like, you know, they draft you, but it's like at the end of the day, when they're free, they're not gonna come back to you. There's no like, this is your quarterback we're talking. This is your man you're talking, and you have to give as much help and guidance for him to, as what Mikey said, guide him to success.
Yeah.
And that's the
concern
job of the
is
team and
who's
responsibility.
releasing this report. Like, that's another concern. We like who's leaking that from the Bears organization or from Caleb Williams' circle if he was saying like, yo, I was watching film and they're not even watching it with me and helping me. It's just a concern all around organizationally.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna give no flack to Williams, you know?
Yeah. I think it's tough. It's one of those things where, you know, MSD family, you know, me and Michael John were trying to get YBK up in the building when it comes to the golf thing. But me and Michael John, we do our thing. We used to be on the course, and when we were practicing, especially when we was locked in a couple days during the week, especially playing and practicing, doing our thing, we watching each other, we giving each other notes, we taking film, and even us amateurs were doing that. So it kind of seems a little crazy to me that your number one pick for your number one position on a franchise billion-dollar team, billion-dollar organization, nobody's looking for you. Ain't got a walk-in mate. And I do know that, you know, the Bears didn't have a veteran quarterback presence last year. I think McCown was like, I'm not trying to train, or even though I think a quarterback that was there maybe a year or two was, hey, I'm trying to start. I'm not here to teach, which I think is a terrible philosophy. But I'm praying that this year Caleb gets the help that he needs, and I'm hoping that the Chicago Bears do not continue to be the laughing stock in which they have been in the NFC. So,
New coaching, so let's see how they do. Caleb Williams is going to be coached by JT Barrett, the former Ohio State Buckeye who won the national championship. He's the QB coach, and Ben Johnson's the head coach that's coming in. So let's see what happens. But hard to do that. New offensive coordinator, new head coach. We saw what happened with Baker Mayfield, and you know, it's like it'd be hard when you be sticking someone doing that, or with Sam Darnold even too. Like, gotta find some stability. So
we did talk about, you know, a little bit of the bottom, the trash of the NFC. You know what I mean? In a situation with that quarterback or one of their star players.
Yes.
I noticed YBK.
Yes.
You got this fresh looking outfit on. You got something shining, glistening through the screen. And I'm wondering what the occasion is for adorning such a wonderful piece of artwork. I'm just, you know what I mean? Can you talk to me? I know for some of us, you know what I mean, they're not necessarily watching us in real time or not watching the YouTube.
Right.
But can you tell them what you're wearing and what it means for you, baby? All
right, guys. You already know what happened this year in the NFL Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles beat the Chiefs. And every time, my team wins a chip, it's like a culture to buy their jersey. And happened to have, thank you for a Memorial Day sale by NFL too. I thought this was a perfect time to buy the jersey. And I bought myself a nice Saquon Barkley championship jersey, everybody. Woo! Let's go! And it's crazy. I didn't even think about, the news that we're about to drop to them. You know what I'm saying? It worked perfectly, everybody. It worked perfectly. So let's.
I had a feeling that you might. I needed to ask you this one though, Sam.
Yes.
Because I had a feeling. I said, "How is my boy Sam gonna feel about this?"
Well, tell the news, Sam. What's happening?
Madden 26, bro.
What?
Guess who's the next running back to grace the cover?
Who?
Your boy Saquon 2K.
Saquon Barkley!
Patented move. Did y'all see Did you see what it looks like? It's
the hurdle, the back
hurdle, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, nasty, absolutely filthy play. So, my question is, Sam, are you nervous about the Madden NFL cover curse?
Not really, because we're about to do something more. So, You know, we know we the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get through it. I feel like this cover was more of like a cherry on top. You know, Super Bowl champion, Offensive Player of the Year, Madden 26 cover, and he's the first Philadelphia Eagle to be a 99 club, baby. Let's go! And that's what I'm pumped about too. Like, big congrats for that 99 club too. But I mean, come on, Saquon this year, you combined the playoff yards, the most yard of NFL history. Come on, let's get it. Well deserved. But yeah, not cursed for that. Not scared for that curse. Not scared. Confident.
Man, you know,
Hey, second year in a row, a running back has been the cover.
it's true. And you know what-
CMC.
you know what happened last year?
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
CMC is no Saquon 2K.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
And respect to McCaffrey, he's maybe a better pass catcher, right? Maybe that, but Saquon has been doing that thing.
Going crazy.
Crazy. It's coming out August 14, 2025. Pre-order today.
Are you getting that edition? Are you getting the?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
the
that.
box? Are you gonna get the disc?
Oh, like the actual disc?
Yeah, are you gonna get the actual?
Yo, my PS5 is digital.
Man, but are you gonna get the actual disc? Just
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to maybe really think about that. That's a good point. It only happens once.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's smart. Because I feel like it comes with something else too. I'm sure, right? Like a package. Maybe.
Never know.
Maybe.
Never know.
He's gonna be so fast in Madden, the new one.
It's gonna be ugly.
He's gonna be so
excited.
quick. This man's gonna be running crazy.
Before we move on to the next segment, I have a question. Do you think the tush push is gonna be in the new Madden?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Why not? I feel
Great
like
question.
I want to know, is the tush push gonna be in the new Madden? MSD family, if you think the tush push should be in the new Madden, make sure you comment on the YouTube. Either, you know what I mean? Say yes, maybe, definitely. Cause I would love to see that play.
that would be cool.
Love to see that play. I know my boy Black Jew Kid, he be playing with the Eagles no matter what. He would love to see it too. So that's gonna shoot.
Yeah, but you know that I feel like those is hard plays to defensively. I wonder what can you do if you just call if I send the blitz and pinch, like who's gonna win? Does it have to do with ratings? Because I feel like some plays be like that where I wonder how it will be able to like you know what I mean? If there's there's no skill to it. Like in real life, it takes like some effort and skill, but I feel like in the video game, I wonder how it would translate. Nonetheless, I'd love to see it in the game.
Yeah.
Facts. I agree. 100%. 100%. We need that tush push.
Need it.
Yes.
There's two things to talk about. I think one, I want to sprinkle this in because I think we should end with the most prevalent and like big sporting news.
Okay.
But I wanted to sprinkle in before we get to that one. I think y'all know what we're talking about. Before then, I just wanted to shout out, David, this is right up your alley because our boy Scotty Scheffler did it again with another massive performance to go for back-to-back wins on PGA. He pulled out that Memorial Day W. So, yeah. I mean, my question is, Scotty Scheffler is obviously the world number one best golfer in the world right now on a freaking roll. What's good with when are we gonna have a superstar golfer again? And I know no one's gonna be Tiger Woods ever again, but what does it take? Because this obviously can't just be winning. Like, what's it gonna take to make one of these guys like break that threshold?
I think the thing is, I mean, Scotty is definitely on that trajectory in terms of being an amazing golfer, and on the golf side as a superstar, he's made, I think 21 or maybe I think it might have been more. I think he's made $21 million in the last month, like the last calendar month, 30 days. He's made $21 million playing golf. That's not endorsements. That's not speaking engagements. That's just 4 days or 16 days of work. He's made $20 million. That's insane.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy work. Like crazy work. He's had multiple top 5 finishes. He's won back to back. He's coming off of even the Masters. He had a chance. Like he's killing it. The thing what I think with Scotty is which YBK, you know what I mean? You definitely know, as well as most of us. He's a God-fearing man, and he credits the Lord so much in his ability to play the game. It's not as though he's talking about, oh, my practice, or I'm the best, or I'm this. And I think that's where I think the golfing enthusiasts, especially us younger guys, we don't relate to as much. Not that it's not great, but it's like Tiger was, he wasn't talking about, oh, I thank God for this, or, what I mean? He was talking about, oh, like, I thank myself, like, I worked really hard, like, I'm the best, I'm nasty. Him and Phil would have those battles. He had Vijay Singh, and I think it was more of an aggression type feel in terms of greatness. Whereas when I look at Scotty's run right now, it's a very calm storm. It's a very like, hey, I'm gonna do it easy. I'm not gonna be flashy. I'm gonna get up and down. I'm just gonna make it work, and I'm gonna just rely on the tools that I've had. And on those post game press conferences, he's like, I thank God, I thank my family, I got this new baby. So I think it's gonna take one of these young stars, a Ming Wing Lu, you know what I mean, even a Berg, or some younger dude, to kind of either have maybe even a Shambo, in a sense, to have one of those moments where it's a vocal as well as you know what I mean, a physical, you know what I mean?
I felt like at one point there was like Jordan Spieth was going crazy, and then after Spieth it was Justin Thomas, who was like these young golfers that are got a little bit of character to them, and then we had the show on Netflix, kind of similar to how they have the football one, like the behind, I forget if it's called Swing or
Swing. Yep, Swing. Yep.
Yeah, it's like that gave some color to these players. The Colin Morikawa's, like these young dudes, but I just feel like for someone who's so wildly successful in a very difficult game and has been on a roll, it's kind of quiet. Like, I don't hear the buzz around it. So I thought it was interesting. Like, Sam, I don't know if you even heard the news of this before or caught wind of this,
No.
which is like,
this is news to me right now.
yeah. Well, he just came from winning a major to going from winning a major to winning another PGA Tour tournament. It's crazy.
It's huge.
It's unreal.
Has that happened before?
People win like that. But
Back to back?
The thing is, YBK, people don't play tournaments back to back.
Oh.
So you'll play, like, it'd be like, oh, I'll play like Sunday, and then 2 weeks from Sunday we'll play again. And so their tournaments that they entered, they'll win back to back, because it's like, oh, like the tournament I just played, I win, like I think Tiger did that a couple times. He's won. He'll enter a tournament, he won. 2 weeks later, he'll enter another tournament, he'll win. 6 weeks later, he'll enter another tournament, he wins. Damn. But I think the thing is that, YBK, having a guy win weekend after weekend, top 5 finish weekend after weekend, that means you're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You take a few days off, you're flying, you're going back Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Like, you're going to another place. You're doing a practice round there for 2 days, then you're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a lot of these guys who have like home courses where it's like, I play at this course every year. I usually top 5 every year because I love this course. Scotty Scheffler is coming off the plane, dropping his bag, and letting it rock. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, swinging that thing.
Okay, that's a flex. That's crazy.
Come off the private jet. Give me $4 million, because I'm probably gonna win the joint.
To give you an idea of how dominant he's been too, Sam.
Yeah.
He's coming off of he hasn't placed outside of the top 10 for 7 tournaments in a row, which is very difficult in golf. And of those, he's won 3 of 4, because he won like a regular little cup tournament, shot just a light 31 under at TPC Craig Ranch, but then he won the PGA Championship. Nasty. So he won back-to-back wins. He did play in the Charles Schwab Challenge, so he won those 2 back-to-back. He got 4th place in the Charles Schwab, and now he just won the Memorial Tournament at Muirfield Village Golf Club. So this is crazy. I just think it's crazy how nasty of a year he's had. And I think it's more like expected of him. I don't know. I guess you're right, though, David. You say personality is a big part of it. So it's like the fans like Max Homa. It's like, you know what I mean? Like there's random golfers that you like, this is what the fans mess with. We like certain people. We like who we like. Ricky Fowler. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like to me, if you ask a regular person, like you're gonna be like they're more of a fan favorite. Whereas Scotty's like you like him because he's just nasty, but like, you know, hey, he's got time. He's only 28, so he's got time to
He's not even in his prime, bro. The dog don't even like it's not till your 30s that you even 32, 33, 34, 35. That's when you hit your prime in golf. Like Adam Scott was like 42 when he was on his run. He's in his 50s now. Like when I tell you like this man is nasty. Damn. And if he wins the major championships, he will be in the same breath as a lot of these other dudes. I'm talking the Palmers, the Nicklases, the Woods, the Mickelsons.
Goat status? Goat status?
He
on the trajectory?
I would say in the 2020s. The 2020s alone, right now.
Oh, wow.
He GOAT status. If you just take 2020 to 2025, he GOAT right now.
Sheesh.
Like crazy work.
Scotty Scheffler.
Because it's not just like you like it's not just you winning, it's you being top 10 in the Masters. Like it's you being top 10 in like Pine Bluff, like tough courses that are like demanding on physicality and mental ability. Damn. Like that guys train their whole life to be like, this year I'm gonna have one win and it's gonna be at TBC Sawgrass. He comes in playing it maybe 2 or 3 times when another guy plays it 40 and murders them.
Jeez. Sheesh.
Crazy work. So
wow.
Shout out to Scotty Scheffler.
Shout out to Scotty. He had that baby and he has not looked back since.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Right. I need y'all to talk to me about the big sporting event that we got going on this week.
Biggest.
Come on, YBK or Camden. Y'all send me off.
The baddest.
I mean, I will start it off with the Pacers. These Indiana Pacers, gentlemen, listeners, viewers, defeated the New York Knicks 4-2. And it was a kind of funny moment when, Pacers, when they lifted their trophy of the Eastern Conference, when they shouted out their Eastern Conference MVP. Halliburton was about to walk up Pascal Siakam. But shout out to Indiana, though. Great game. The Knicks here, I feel like they were too tired. I feel like there were too many mistakes in this series, guys. Too many turnovers. Defensive issues going on left and right. Foul trouble. Brunson ain't playing at all because of foul trouble. We're talking semifinals right now. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I was just disappointed because I thought the Knicks going to overtake these Pacers. Like, I think in our past pod when we said predictions. But, yeah, I feel like the Pacers just outran them. They were fast. Couldn't catch them. And offense, their offense looking good. What do you guys think about this series?
I mean, like I called it. I knew the Pacers was going to take down the Knicks in 6. I said it in 6. I wasn't too worried about it. I thought it was going to be 5, but 6 was trying to be nice, make it work. I think that my biggest concern at the end of the day, I think the whole series relied on game 1. That situation with game 1, Hallie coming back and doing y'all dirty. My boy Naismith shooting like he was the greatest shooter ever in the history.
He was like 8 for 9 or something like that, right?
Boy looked crazy work. Okay, I thought it was Jesus Christ shooting the ball that night. I was confused. The boy could not miss. I think game 1 really just kind of set the tone bad. You know what I mean? The Knicks they played a hard game. They were gonna take this one. They weren't gonna have to worry about it. And I think that whole thing just kind of set it off. Because it could have gone 7. They don't win that game. It's tied 3-3.
Then you go back to MSG. You're back to New York.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of where I'm like, you know what, at the end of the day, there's just a couple of things where it didn't smooth out right.
Yeah, one thing, Camden, your camera went out, so I just wanted to make you aware. So viewers, the boy's still here with us.
Yeah, he's still here.
I want to follow up. One, I want to respond to this. I do think that Halliburton was snubbed. I would have voted for him. I don't think I'm not mad that Siakam won it. I just think that Halliburton deserved it, but he did have those two terrible games.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. But it was 5 votes to 4, just for context. 5 analysts gave it to Siakam, 4 gave it to Halliburton. So it's very close. Next is that the Knicks thought they won the championship when they beat the Boston Celtics because they gave up 5 picks most recently for Mikal Bridges and then traded Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo to get Cat because they knew they needed to replace Hartenstein, but also needed to have a little something else going on. You know what I mean? To bolster that lineup. I just think they were suited. They went out and got a team to beat the Celtics, but not a team that was well matched against a really, really deep Pacers team. So when you lose the first 2 games at home, it's a wrap. Almost always it's a wrap. That's what I thought.
It's tough. I mean, even after I thought about like this. After Halliburton made that game tying shot, not the winning shot, and he did the whole Reggie Miller thing. If the Knicks won that game and lost game 2, it's different, I feel like. Because it ruins the momentum of Hallie. Because he's already up here. And since they already won, it's already up here. But if that was dropped, and if the Knicks took that in OT, different story. But yeah, exactly what
Can you imagine if the Pacers somehow pulled out the W here? Bro, that would be like an all-time canon moment of NBA. Tyrese Halliburton's back rimmer moonshot Reggie Miller choke. It will go down in infamy. Because when you make shots like that, it's still a nasty shot, don't get me wrong, and they should be proud that they made it to the finals because they were plus 2,500 in the preseason. Bro, they had Philly ranked ahead of Indy to make it to the chip.
Crazy.
Yup. Is that not hilarious, bro? They had Miami. They had Milwaukee. Yeah. They had, I think, Atlanta ahead of
Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised though with the roster preseason. Yeah,
crazy. So
wow.
I think I also was very surprised with New York's lack of experience in trying to actually play the lineup or the bench.
Yeah.
They tried, and I give Thibs credit for doing it, and I felt like he probably felt the external pressure and it was necessary. But them fools foul too much too. Cat be fouling too much.
It was
Brunson getting into foul trouble a couple of those games.
Yep.
He's a free throw merchant too. Brunson's a free throw merchant just like SGA is, and I'm not even hating. It's good. Get to the line. Slow the game down and put the game at your pace. But then to kind of make dumb fouls and be talking bro, you draw those same fouls. It's kind of is what it is.
And I feel like the role players also, I feel like they got too tired. We're OG and Mikal Bridges, those guys were popping off in that Celtics series, and it was those role players that kind of gave the game a little bit of an edge. But there were 4 points, 0 points. It wasn't producing, and I feel like that game when even the Knicks won Game 5, I think at home, Cat had to score 21 points in the fourth quarter for them to win. Without that, the team scored nothing. That's why I felt like it was all right, the Pacers definitely was a better team compared to the Knicks.
After all that, no, shout out to Karl Anthony Towns though. I like Cat. I think he played well. Yeah. I think you can't expect to rely on him like a 30-point scorer.
Yeah,
he's not going to put up 30 and 15. He's going to put up 23 and 11, which is what he did the whole playoffs, and he was pretty. He was pretty. He
was good.
Solid the whole time.
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
Camden, my dog.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
No, I was here, but I was having a little technical difficulty, so I had to switch off real quick. No, the thing to me is I think Indy, at the end of the day, we didn't think that at all, especially looking at the numbers beforehand or the stuff like that. We never thought that they were going to be great, but I think you had Rick Carlisle, who's coming off of a situation with Luka in the West. He's coming to the East. I think him being a great coach really set it off in a great way. I think with the injuries that we had with Philly, I think it was just a perfect timing and situation. And with the New York Knicks, I still feel like the splash of the offseason was unbelievable. We're like, oh, yeah, we got these guys, everybody from Villanova, da-da-da-da-da. but I still felt like the continuity wasn't there. You know what I mean? I know, you know what I mean? The coach has been there for 5 years and things like that, but I think it still took them a second for everybody to kind of get situated. And for them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals against a team like Indy, you know what I mean? I felt pretty good about it, but I don't know. There were mistakes, obviously, but I think that game one, that was it.
Yeah. Can I ask a quick question about the coaching? Because you mentioned Carlisle, who has been a head coach for a long time, got a difficult chip with Mavericks, one of the best ones ever. Tom Thibodeau is out as the New York Knicks head coach.
Crazy.
I thought it was just a bit conjecture, like when they was talking about should the Knicks move on, and I was like, I feel like he's been there for a hot minute, but also you just had your best season in 25 years. Like, is now the time or one more year? But they said one more year. No,
Yep.
You're out. Who they gonna get? Mike Malone? Who the hell's gonna be the coach, bro?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to get Mike. I think especially seeing him on the post game with the NBA crew and stuff like that during the Nuggets series, I think they're like, okay, I think he has a bad taste in his mouth. What do you remember the days where coaches made the playoffs and kept their jobs? And when you didn't make the playoffs, that was the only reason why you lost your job. Now we have coaches that are making the Eastern Conference Finals, guys are fourth in the West, guys that are coming off of, NBA Finals appearances, they're being fired in the offseason. Is it the teams just being impatient? Is it the GMs just not getting it along? Is it the coach? Is it the players? Do we think this was a player's move at the end of the day? Like, YBK, do you think the players called for this, or you think the GM and the owner was just like, all right, like, you've taken us this far, you're not going to take us any further?
I feel like it's more on the GM side, because I feel like the head coach and the players been like they talk, I'm sure, every day, especially in the time of playoffs, like strategizing, like planning, like, because I feel like they don't see like the boss every day, the owner, so I feel like I do see that as a very good point on bringing out like how coaches get fired, and when teams won a championship, high seeding, fired. This team, Knicks, made it to the semifinals, kind of like conference finals, fired. So it's like there's no loyalty on the coach and GM now. It's just the same as the loyalty with the player and team. Like it feels like it kind of translates to the coaching level now too, where it's like they're all replaceable. Feels like now.
I will say he lost in the playoffs a lot, though. So he went to the playoffs a lot, and he lost maybe more than he won. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe it's like he's slightly above 500 or hovering around it. That's what he is for sure, and that's the problem. I guess eventually we got to get over the hump, and if that means getting rid of you, so be it. So I just am a little surprised.
Do you feel as though the heavy minutes played a role
of course
in this situation?
Come on, I mean, of course, that's what everyone's going to point to. He plays but who's he got on the bench to even play besides McBride and Mitchell Robinson?
Well, dude, I saw Cameron Payne on the bench, and I was just like, dude, I saw him go out even like I think it was not this series, but during the division, I was like, why are you even on the court? You look terrible. Like,
exactly. Him and Shamet. You want to play Cameron Payne and Shamet?
I was about to say Landry Shamet too.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, you can't really blame Tibbs for in this case. I think he just wanted to lean on, but it's not like he playing them 24 minutes in a row.
Yeah, you ain't gonna play no PJ Tucker or something.
It's not like he's making players play the full half in the second half of an important playoff game. Nah, I mean, I think that puts it well though. Pacers just unironically have a high pace, and the Knicks need to have a slower half court game, and that's really what it came down to. They didn't have the energy.
Yep.
So may we talk a little bit about the West? I feel like the Western Conference, it was even more of a true gentleman's sweep in the sense of like, yeah, Minnesota just didn't want to get swept, but OKC kind of took the paddle to the behind.
They did.
And
Hammer on
I'm surprised how bad Randall and Edwards were the whole series. Bad. Rudy was neutralized. Nas Reed couldn't hit shots. It was just, I don't know what to say. If it was more, I think it was more dominance from OKC than it was Minnesota being a bad team. I just think they reached the end of the road, Minnesota. They had a great year. They finished the year really strong, took out some good teams in the playoffs, and they met their end.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Minnesota played an OKC team that was younger, faster, and taller. They might not have been bigger or bulkier, but they were just faster and just as tall. And I think when you got guys like Nas Reed, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, who when you look at Randle, he was on the Lakers, then he's on the Knicks. He's a journeyman. It's not as though, he's a number one option. Otherwise, he would have stayed on his team or at least stayed in New York a long time ago. And I get with the cat trade things that happen. But then again, we look at Nas, because Nas Reed is a decent player, stepping up. But I think when you're looking at Ant, I just saw he was just so overwhelmed at the end of the day, and none of the big men could really run and gun the way that they needed to, especially when you got Chet on the other side of the John, running, gunning, dunking, shooting, passing, alley-ooping. The boy looked like he had so much energy compared to playing with guys 5, 6, 7 years longer in the NBA, and they just looked like they just didn't have the legs to just kind of just run with them at all. You know what I mean? Kind of a similar situation in the East, but I think OKC was just way more talented. You know what I mean? So, YBK, how did you feel about this series?
I wanna say sorry to deep apologize to all the Thunder fans because I doubted these Thunder team from the get. I was like, before playoffs started, I'm like, it's okay if they're number one seed. They were number one seed last year, got eliminated after second round. They're gonna be the same thing anyway this year. But man, oh man, they proved me wrong. And this kind of reminded me of their finals team in 2013. How they had their big three with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. Now I kind of see a big three forming with Shea, Chet, and J-Dub, guys. Jalen Williams have been balling. I mean, balling for this OKC. So I feel like this is great, guys. And I feel like what you said, David, I agree. They were younger and they were bigger. And I feel like this is but big shout out to Shea where he kind of led his team this year with a number one seed. He got the All-Star. He got the scoring champ. He got the first All-NBA. And he got his MVP. So everything's working out for SGA. And I feel like this year it could be the year where the evolution of SGA, right?
An all-time season if they win the chip. And
exactly.
If
he wins Finals MVP too? Wow.
And imagine the Clippers, what they traded SGA and all those assets for Paul George, and it never panned out. Yep. So history will look at it as like, look at what Oklahoma City does, and look at how many first-round picks Oklahoma City is sitting a wealth of riches. So I will say, like, that series was a different series though against a kind of a tired Minnesota. I feel like Minnesota lost gas. That's what it seemed like to me, but I don't think the Pacers have lost gas, and I don't think they're losing gas. I do think it's a different series. We could review the fact that they played twice this year, and Oklahoma City won both games. The one that Oklahoma City played at home, they won, they 20-pieced them, and it was an easy win. They did play in Indiana, and it was early in the year. This was when Indiana was still below 500, or right at 500. They were 15-15 or 15-16, and Indiana was playing a good first half, and then OKC played a better second half and won by 6. But it was a good game. Shea dropped 45 that game, 45 and 8. So I wonder how are they gonna guard them? What's the lineup's gonna look like? And what happens when the aggressive full court defense of a Lou Dort and Alex Caruso is met by the pace of pushing the ball up the court, inbound it quick. Let's get our offense going. Let's run the floor. All of these fools. when an unstoppable object or force meets an immovable object. It's so. I think it's interesting, bro. I'm very excited. I'm taking Thunder still. To be honest with you, I'm taking the Thunder.
Okay. And Thunder in how many games?
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Thunder are really gonna wash them. But I'm out of respect. I'm gonna say Thunder in 6.
Ooh, okay.
But I do think that those wins are gonna be by big margins. Just like how when the Thunder have won their games this postseason, it's usually by a big margin.
Yeah.
You know, their margin of victory is one of the biggest in postseason.
Yeah.
So it's weird to say that 6 games is a dominant series, but I do think when they win, they're going to be big wins.
My biggest concern, and I think, Mikey and I, we were able to watch a little bit of the Pacers. Sam and I, we were able to watch a little bit of OKC and Minnesota when they played the Lakers and things like that. I'm really looking at OKC as that juggernaut. I can't really rely on Obi Toppin to be going, 3 for 4 from 3 and catching a couple buckets, or McConnell, making sure that he's catching a 10 piece, or even Miles Turner hitting an open 3 or even a contested 3. With that being said, I'm gonna say OKC. I want to say 5, but I think. Nah, I'm gonna say 5. I'm sorry. I'm going OKC at 5. I just can't. As much as I love the Hallie experience, as much as I'm really enjoying the pace, I can't put my money on Obi Toppin and Turner. I just can't do it. I just can't. It's just hard. It's hard for me as those options. I think those are going to be the 2 guys that is going to be the difference maker in this series, and I don't see them being the difference maker.
They're deeper, though. How about what if we say Benedict Mathurin, who really started ratcheting up at the end of last series? Andrew Nemhard, bro.
Nemhard is nice, but here's the thing. Chet, Dort, SGA, Williams. I'm not worried about it. Throw in a Holmgren if you need to. Not worried about it.
Yeah, I think that they're nice, but I also feel like, the defensive intensity of like a Caruso and Dort is a lot. So, but what we got to hear what you.
That was my question. If we put Dort on Halliburton, you know what I mean? Can Halliburton take that defense and still produce in that same level he did in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I don't see it, because you looked at the Eastern Conference Finals just recently, and you saw Tyrese have up and down games when they were really going after him defensively. You know what I mean? And I don't see Dort or Shea being as much of a defensive liability as Cat and Brunson. I just don't see it. So in my mind, I'm kind of looking at it like, okay, like Tyrese could have 28 and 8. Tyrese could have 38 and 8, and they still lose. Easy. Still get washed by 20. Easy.
But think about what they did. Think about how they picked on Brunson, right? I'm not saying Brunson's nowhere near the defender as Shea, but they're going to go after him, because if you get him in any foul trouble, they're going to go after him.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you can pick me up full court press me from the beginning of the game and turn me around 3 times before I even get to half court. But the thing is, do the Pacers have the cardio in them and the run in them and the depth in them? They do. So, it's not like a foregone conclusion to me. I just feel like it's well warranted to be a minus 750 favorite for the Thunder. Yeah. So, but I want to hear how many games you're picking, Sam, because you've been against the Thunder all postseason. Are you finally hopping on to that Zeus bandwagon?
I feel like here the Thunder have the edge in the 3 and the defense here. So I'm gonna have to hop on the train and say Thunder in 5. Gentlemen sweep right here. Yeah. SGA is gonna get his Finals MVP. But you never know here with the Finals MVP. But I still feel like SGA is gonna get his Finals MVP.
It will be Shea.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Shea Butter.
Shea Butter.
Can
Butter Shea.
We have to tell him when's game 1? When's game 1 of the Finals? Let me
Thursday,
see.
Right?
Oh. Let me see.
Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We got the NBA Finals coming to you from Oklahoma City, 43-7 at their home court this year. Oklahoma City has a raucous home crowd. They are very excited. They're going to get their first chip. They're going to have their first chip. Indiana has something to say about that. We got a lot of experience with that coaching staff, okay?
Yes.
So I will say I like this matchup a lot. It would have been very interesting to see like a Knicks versus Minnesota, but it had to be either Knicks Minnesota or Pacers Thunder. So I think that we're really in store for something fun.
I agree.
I'm excited. I'm excited. It's gonna be fireworks. Like I said, my boy SGA, he's been my boy all year. I feel really good about the situation. The only time I was a little worried, or even worrying against my boy, was when the Lakers were, in the playoffs. But we couldn't do Lakers in 5, so it is what it is. So I'm gonna go with my man OKC. I'm gonna go with SGA, and well deserved. I think he's a great player. I'm hoping that this series, ends up well for everybody. So.
Facts.
Everyone thought that the Cavs were gonna wax them too, so let's keep that in mind, y'all. Like,
except for you and me. Except we both said that the Cavs and the Rockets this year were pretenders.
Yep, Rockets. Yeah.
We both said we were like Fugazi on those. So
I do think there's not going to be a 7-point comeback with 40 seconds left, or like a 14-point comeback with 2 minutes 20 seconds left, like how Indiana's pulled off. But I will say the clutch factor is huge these close games. So I'm looking forward to this, y'all.
It's gonna be fun.
Happy to be back. The boys is back in town.
Yes, sir.
Listen, we're gonna try to be at least once a week. I know,
we will. We got that.
Weeklies, things like that, bi-monthly. But we're gonna try to get back on the road. Get back on road, with the MSD family, because I know a lot of people, I know y'all were missing us. Everybody was asking me, yo, Cam, when you and Mikey and YBK gonna get on the John? What's the situation? We be missing GM, YBK. We be missing you with the cameos from time to time. So, They was asking about us. They was asking.
Yes,
so we had to do it, baby.
I had to bring the homie in.
Let's
you
go,
know
Mew.
what I mean?
What's up,
I got my stuffed Mew, and then I got my baby Mew right
Ooh,
here. So
let's go.
I know, Sam. I'm gonna let you sign it off, of course, as always. But I just want to say appreciate being here with y'all. Appreciate all of y'all that be listening. It's your boy Michael John, and it's always a pleasure to be here with y'all.
Listen, you already know what it is, baby.
Yes, sir. So it's been so long that I even got the episode wrong. It's episode 33.
Triple trees?
Yeah, it wasn't 32.
Yo.
32 was the last episode. So it's 33.
Trees?
Yo,
Triple
shout out to the game of the year, Expedition 33.
Let
Clara
'em
Obscura
know.
Expedition 33 is going crazy. I
Triple
love episode
trees.
33 in honor
Yes, sir.
Come
Yes,
on.
of
sir.
the game of the year.
Shout out that gay. Let's go. But yes, sir. MSD Sports episode 33, y'all. It's been a while, but we'll be back very soon. Yes, sir. My name is Sam, and you also known as YBK up in here. You can find me at YBK up in here, and we got Mikey over here. You can find him at Michael John DeStefano, and we got David Camden Lee over here. You can find him at Mr. Club Paradise, and you can find us, MSD Crew, MSD Sports, at RCR MSD Sports, and we are in Instagram, Apple Music, what is it? Or Amazon, any podcast, any podcast platform, any social media, you can check us out. We active. Shoot us a DM, like and comment. You already know. We'll see you guys on the next pod. Peace.